Okay, we'd like to call Planning Commission meeting of October 1st to order, and we'll welcome everyone that's here, and we'll start with the flag salute by Mark Watson.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you join me, please stand, face the flag, place your right hand over your heart, or salute the flag if you're eligible. Ready? Begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, Mark. I couldn't see the flag behind because I was standing behind you, but I think I was still pledging allegiance to it.
Next time, Mark, put one on the back of your shirt.
Okay, roll call, please. Hi, Denise.
Hi, Commissioner Hagel,
Here.
Commissioner Watson.
I am here.
We have an excused absent from Watts. Solis is not present, and then we do have our chair, Charlie Trejo.
Here. Thank you. Okay, do we have any public comments on non-agendized items?
We have none.
Okay. I will go ahead and read the consent calendar. All matters listed under consent calendar are considered to be routine, and all will be enacted by one vote. There will be no discussion of these items unless members of the commission request specific items be removed from the consent calendar for separate action. A total of 30 minutes is provided for members of the public to address the commission on items that appear on the consent calendar. Each speaker is limited to 3 minutes. Public comments may be made in person at the meeting by submitting a speaker card to the commission secretary. Speaker cards will be called in the order received. Still images may be displayed on the projector. All other audio and visual use is prohibited. Public comments may also be submitted by email for inclusion into the record. Email comments must be received prior to 6 p.m. and submitted to Planning Commission at temeculaca.gov. All public participation is governed by County Council policy regarding public participation at meetings adopted by Resolution number 2021-54. Okay, number 1 on the consent calendar is to approve our action minutes of September 17th.
Move to approve.
Second.
All right, we have a motion by Mr. Watson and a second by Mr. Hagel. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, motion carries. And then our number 2 item is our business item. And so this is receive and file update regarding the general plan update, community outreach program, and provide feedback regarding the same. Laurel Reimer?
No, that'll be me tonight.
Oh, I thought so. I saw her
Good
name on there.
evening, Madam Chair and Commissioners.
Good evening.
So this is the community outreach plan for the general plan update. This is the same presentation that I gave to City Council last week, but we wanted to bring it to you just to inform the commission of what we're doing as far as public participation and how we'll keep the Planning Commission engaged throughout the process. So we have 3 goals for the general plan update. The first is public participation will be the foundation of the effort. Our second goal is to get a diversity of thought, ideas, and solutions. And our third goal is to be consistent with our core value of an accountable and responsive city government, consistent with the Quality of Life Master Plan. And that's a government that helps the community navigate through change by providing opportunities for meaningful public engagement. So the first thing we did was we sent an every door direct mailer. So this is a card that went out. You all should have received one. Our consultant worked with the U.S. Postal Service to get the mailing list. I think we sent out over 45,000, and this mailer went to everyone. It's basically a resource that identifies we're updating the general plan, and then there is a QR code there that will take you to the website. And that website is basically where everyone can stay informed throughout the process. So we're branding this effort. You can see the Temecula General Plan 50. That complements what we did for the Blue Ribbon Committee when we updated the Quality of Life Master Plan. So you see that, that compass logo with the City Hall tower in there. That's the branding. So when you see that through social media or in other areas you associate with the general plan. And then the picture there is a screenshot of the homepage for the website, and across the top you can see the homepage, frequently asked questions, get involved, documents and maps, calendar, and contact us. So people can sign up and get notifications throughout the process. And then we'll be building content as we go through the update. We've also updated our survey. So every 3 to 5 years, we work with True North, and they do a statistically valid survey of the community. And basically, that's our report card on facilities and services provided by the city. It measures resident satisfaction and areas for improvement. So we just recently updated that. We have draft results that will be presented to the city council, I'd say in the next month or so. And then those results will be shared with the General Plan Advisory Committee so that as we go through the different elements of the general plan, that'll help with their decision-making. We've also started using social media. The first picture on the left is our clerk who helped advertise for the recruitment for the General Plan Advisory Committee, and then Laurel Reimer, who was going to give this presentation but isn't here tonight. She's our consultant, and she was helping to promote the visioning workshops. And then that other slide you see, the social media stats, that was for the Quality of Life Master Plan, but as we go through the process, we're going to keep track of likes, comments, shares, and impressions. We're also going to do in-person engagement. So rather than just inviting people to meetings, we're going to go to where the people are at. So we'll have the visioning workshops, community open houses, pop-up events at things like the farmer's market or ribbon cuttings. And then we're going to conduct stakeholder interviews. So if a person was really interested in being on the General Plan Advisory Committee but wasn't appointed, they can be nominated to be one of the stakeholders that we'll interview. So there's still an opportunity to engage with those people. As for the visioning workshops, we held our first one last week at the Margarita Rec Center. Our goal is to hold one in each of the council districts. So the first one was in Councilmember Schwenk's district, which was District 5. Tomorrow night we'll be at the library, the Ronald Roberts Library on Pava. That's for District 3, which is Mayor Kalfas's district. And then next week, we're back to back to back, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. We'll be at Vail headquarters, which is Councilmember Alexander's district. Then we'll be at the Meadowview Clubhouse, which is Councilmember Stu's district, District 4. And then finally on Wednesday, 10/8, we'll be at Hawks Point at the Red Hawk Golf Course, which is Councilmember Ron's district, which is District 1. And those are drop-in events. So it's not a formal presentation. There's different stations you can come in. You can spend 5 minutes or you can spend 2 hours learning about the general plan and providing feedback to the consultants.
How many people did you have at the Margarita Rec Center?
Probably 15, not as many as we would like. So we've done another post advertising
Yeah, how is it being advertised?
through social media and the web page.
Okay.
The other thing is, you don't have to go to if you live in that district, you don't have to go to that open house. You can go to you can go to all, if you want to. There will be meetings, so the GPAC meetings, there will be up to 8. Those are all noticed and open to the public. And then next week, Tuesday morning, October 7th, from 10 to 1, there will be a housing workshop. And there'll be 4 main sections to that workshop. The first part will be history of housing production in the city of Temecula, and then a presentation from our city attorney on state housing law, affordable housing financing, and then finally, future housing as it relates to the general plan update. And then in addition, there will be up to 8 special study sessions with the Planning Commission and/or City Council. So depending on what comes out of the General Plan Advisory Committee meetings, there could be a joint workshop. There could be direction from the City Council to see what the Planning Commission thinks, but you'll definitely be involved in the process. And we'll bring periodic updates to keep you informed. And then there will be mandatory CEQA noticing and public hearings. As we do the general plan, there will be a programmatic EIR. an environmental impact report. At the beginning of that process, there's a mandatory scoping meeting or session where we reach out. It's advertised to the public and various agencies. They tell us we need to look at traffic or air quality, or whatever else they want us to study, the environmental impacts. And then at the end, there's a notice of completion, which means more public hearings, and then the general plan update and EIR will come before the Planning Commission and the City Council. And we're targeting mid to late summer of 2027. So we're looking at about a 2-year process. And then in addition to all of that, we'll be utilizing Temecula TV, Channel 3, we can advertise on there, as well as the city app. And we can also advertise on the Auto Mall sign, as if that's not enough. So there's 160,000 plus cars that go on that every day, so we'll advertise that way. So, yeah, that's the community outreach plan. At this time, if you have any other ideas you want us to consider, we're happy to hear them.
Just a question on the survey. So you're saying people can go there and take the survey. Do they target anyone to take the survey, or it's just whoever takes it?
So True North did a survey, and that's already complete. The workshops are drop-in events. You can provide feedback, and the
Right.
consultants log them.
So
The comments.
So the other that's on the Auto Mall is just,
Oh, that was an example from the Quality of Life Master Plan as to how we advertised. So that's just an example, but one of the things we might advertise would be,
not the survey, something else?
Not the survey,
Okay,
something
okay,
else.
that was confusing,
Yeah.
okay. You guys have any questions for
I've got a
Matt?
question.
Okay.
This master plan is to take us to 2050?
yes.
Yeah. Would there be another update prior to that, or would that be
There should be.
there should be? Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
Mr. Watson? Nothing? Okay. I feel like I did have a couple of questions. You have
I
questions?
just have
Go ahead.
one other thing. The True North survey, when they present the results, I remember the last time they did that, something that was very useful was comparing our results to other cities. I think it gives us a lot of insight into not only how we're doing compared to the cities, but how similar or different our challenges are. So I think that would, if they do that, that would be helpful.
I can let them know that. They also compared to previous surveys, so we can see how we're doing over time, just within the city itself.
So on the intro, there was, in there, it said flexible guide. What does that mean?
In the intro to,
Yeah, in the introduction,
The last slide?
well, I'm looking on what we were given in on our agenda. So under number 1, introduction, it says, let's see, where is it?
oh, the attachment, the actual community outreach plan.
Yeah. So it says that this is a flexible guide, meaning, kind of clarify what that would mean, flexible guide.
If you would like us to somehow engage the community, if you have an idea where you want us to
So we can
engage
add other
youth and
ideas
government.
to
Yeah.
this. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so that's what you mean by that. All right, and then under number 4, so the GPAC, so I'm not sure if my colleagues know, but they were selected last week at the city council meeting, 18 members. So they will meet up to 18 times, or 8 times, sorry. They will meet up to 8 times
Correct,
in the next 2 years,
correct.
correct?
Yes.
Okay. And then when they meet, or, maybe you haven't decided this yet, but, so is that would that information come back to us of what happened at that meeting, and keeping us involved with that?
Yeah, so we'll meet with the General Plan Advisory Committee, And at the next possible planning commission, we can provide a report on what was on the agenda and some of the feedback.
Yeah,
So that would just be an update, and then at certain points throughout the process, when we get into recommendations or what's coming out of the General Plan Advisory Committee, we'll bring that to the Planning Commission for further input, and then eventually that goes to the City Council.
okay. Yeah, that would be good to not get it all at once, but get it,
Yeah.
as it's happening. That would be great.
Yeah, and there will be, at certain meetings, very specific topics. So we may have one GPAC meeting that's dedicated to circulation.
Right.
There will be another meeting dedicated to land use.
So at those GPAC meetings, Planning Commission, do they not want Planning Commission to necessarily attend those meetings, or does it matter?
I think it's up to you.
Okay,
I think it's up to you, but it's going to be
brought back here.
brought back here.
Okay,
We just can't participate in those.
So yeah, if we have 3 members of the planning commission there, then we would have to make it a notice public meeting. So I think we would
It'll be
need to do-
noticed
they are
anyway.
noticed.
As a public, oh, okay.
Yeah,
But
as
we'd
a-
have to make it a meeting of the planning
Of the planning
commission if
commission.
there's going to be 3 planning commissioners present at any particular meeting.
Thank you for that clarification. So it's a notice meeting for the GPAC, but if, like Maricela said, if 3 of you showed up,
One of us
we-
would have to go home.
yeah, we would have had to notice it. So
Okay.
just communicate with me if you're interested in attending.
Right, okay. Okay, and then, can I? Let me finish.
Something occurred to me. I'm sorry.
Okay, let me just finish.
Yes.
Okay, then under number 6, is it number 6? Yeah, in-person engagement. Up to 10 stakeholder interviews. Tell me exactly what you mean by that.
I'll just use Jeff Kurtz, who's the general manager at the mall. The mall's an important, it's the
So
mall.
the city is deciding who to kind of interview?
Yeah, and we'll run that past the general plan update city council subcommittee to verify the list,
Okay,
and then we'll interview up to 10 people. We could expand that, I think.
so in those interviews, you would have specific questions to ask them of how they see the city in the next 20 years?
Correct.
Okay. And then, let's see, under there also is the community workshops, which these are the ones we're talking about at in the different districts, correct?
Yes,
And then the pop-ups would just be at events, and consultants would be there,
and staff.
and staff, okay. And then at the notice meetings, you talked about the housing workshop, and then planning commission, city council, study sessions, which may or may not be needed.
I'm sure we're
depending on-
going to need something, I just don't know what the
So,
topics will be
Yeah, so
yet.
the information that comes back. And then public hearings, up to 4 public hearings with planning commission and city council, separate, basically.
Yeah.
Okay, I was just clarifying that. I think those are all my questions. You have some questions?
Only one.
Okay.
Yeah, Matt, I was just curious, as Madam Chair was, and you were speaking, is there any sort of an organizational structure to those 18 members of the GPAC? I mean, do they have a leader?
So our consultant's going to be facilitating the meetings, and I think, so at the first meeting, they'll talk about how the meetings will be run. Generally, it'll be asking for consensus. Much like the Quality of Life Master Plan update, it was a roundtable discussion. But we'll be finding out more at that first meeting. But there will be structure to it, and generally, it'll be trying to get collaboration and consensus, and if we don't have consensus, that's what we'll bring to the Planning Commission.
Thank you, Matt.
Yeah, one suggestion I would have being on the QLMP is you heard a lot from some people, right? So as a facilitator, maybe talking with the facilitators and making sure that that voice is heard from everyone in the room and not just 2 or 3.
Yeah, I think that's a good suggestion. We've already had some discussions about that.
Okay, great. Any other questions? Okay. Thanks, Matt.
Thank you.
Chuck. All right. So. All right, so that is our business. We're going to go on to the public hearing. Any person may submit written comments to the commission before a public hearing or may appear and be heard in support of or in opposition to the approval of the projects at the time of the hearing. If you challenge any of the projects in court, you may be limited to raising only those issues you or someone else raised at the public hearing or in written correspondence delivered to the commission secretary at or prior to the public hearing. For public hearings, each speaker is limited to 5 minutes. Public comments may be made in person at the meeting by submitting a speaker card to the commission secretary or by submitting an email to be included into the record. Email comments must be submitted to planningcommission@temeculaca.gov. Email comments on all matters, including those not on the agenda, must be received prior to the time the item is called for public comments. Any person dissatisfied with a decision of the commission may file an appeal of the commission's decision. Said appeal must be filed within 15 calendar days after service of written notice of the decision. The appeal must be filed on the appropriate Community Development Department form and be accompanied by the appropriate filing fee. All public participation is governed by the council policy regarding public participation at meetings adopted by resolution number 2021-54. So item number three is a long-range planning project number LR25-0099, amending Title 17 of the Temecula Municipal Code as detailed in the proposed ordinance. Katie.
Hi, good evening, Madam Chair and Commissioners. So tonight I will be presenting the Water Efficient Landscape Ordinance update. This is LR 25-0099. The Water Efficient Landscape Ordinance, also known as the WELO, guides architects, designers, contractors, and the public in creating more water-conscious landscapes. The intent behind this update is really just codifying existing subjective design standards and some current best practices. This proposed ordinance would amend Chapter 17.23, the Water Efficient Landscape Design of the Temecula Municipal Code, to make technical revisions and updates to make consistent with the citywide design guidelines. And getting into what the changes are, we're proposing to add various definitions for clarification purposes and also amend the reference evapotranspiration, also known as ETO, definition to reference the most up-to-date measurement for Temecula. Landscape design requirements, we're proposing to add a reference to utilize specific plant lists when applicable. Also require plants with different watering needs to be placed on separate irrigation valves, and add turf as an exemption in inner courtyards of senior care facilities to provide stability for mobility devices. Continuing on, we're proposing to require inorganic ground cover, this is gravel, stones, etc., to only be used as an accent material, and this would be a maximum of 15%. We're proposing to add a subsection to include landscape design standards for parking areas to make it consistent with the citywide design guidelines, and also require canopy trees to be used in parking areas to provide shade and reduce glare and heat buildup. Irrigation system design requirements, we're proposing to allow the use of overhead spray systems in bioretention basins in landscape areas narrower than 10 feet in width, and this would be subject to the approval of the Public Works Director. Residential and commercial requirements, proposing to add minimum distance requirements for trees and large shrubs located near utility equipment in all residential and commercial areas. And this would be 5 feet from any water meter, gas meter, or sewer laterals, 10 feet away from utility poles, and 8 feet away from fire hydrants and fire department sprinkler and standpipe connections. And these are all consistent with other utility standards, so just codifying them. In maintenance and enforcement, we're proposing to require a modification application for any modifications to the original landscape plans. This is already a current practice, just codifying. Proposing any trees removed due to maintenance issues or death to be replaced in accordance with the approved landscape plans. Protected trees must comply with Protected Tree Ordinance, which is Chapter 8.48 of the Temecula Municipal Code. And also proposing to require ground covers to be used in addition to the approved landscaping, not in place of. And lastly, proposing to remove the following 2 plants from our plant list, which is Appendix C of the ordinance. The first plant is lethal, so definitely poses a danger to the public. And the second one is very sharp. You've probably seen those around town, but the 2 images on the right are the following 2 plants. And then lastly, we are proposing to add a note for any areas located in very high fire and high fire severity zones to refer to Cal Flora's fire safe plant list. Just some history on this ordinance. So it was presented to the Planning Commission Municipal Code Maintenance Subcommittee on August 20th. This was with Commissioners Hagel and Watson. And then it was also presented to the City Council General Plan Update Subcommittee on August 26th. And with that, the staff has determined that this ordinance is exempt from the requirements of the California Environmental Quality Act pursuant to Section 15061B3, and staff recommends that the Planning Commission adopt the resolution, recommending that the City Council adopt the ordinance. And this concludes my presentation. I'm available for any questions. We also have Blanca, our landscape consultant, here for any technical questions you may have. I may defer to her, so.
Okay. Before we go on, Denise, will you note that Commissioner Fernando Solis is here?
The record so reflected.
Okay, yes, questions of staff. Mark? Since you were on the subcommittee and you attended.
And I attended, notably.
Yeah.
Yes, that's right. Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you again. This was as captivating a presentation as when I saw it in subcommittee. I didn't mind the rerun at all. Can you refer back to slide 8 for just a moment, please, Ms.
Sure.
Garcia?
Is this the correct
That's it.
one?
Just out of curiosity, when we're talking about proximities to water meters, gas meters, laterals, that kind of thing, is that proximity all we ask for, or do we typically ask for like a root barrier to be installed?
I will probably defer that one to Blanca, if you don't mind coming up, Blanca.
Hello, Blanca. Saw you at subcommittee.
Yes, we do ask for root barriers.
Okay.
And that would be within the definition of the tree sizing, depending on whether it's, usually 5 feet away from any non-permeable surface.
Very good. Thank you
And
so
it
much.
wouldn't be in this list.
I appreciate
That's
it.
just listing utilities.
Very good.
Okay.
Other questions over here? Bob?
Just one question. The trees that are placed along the roadway, they grow. Who's responsible for maintaining them, particularly related to telephone wires?
So from my understanding, might need a little help with this, but depending on where it's located, it could be a city-maintained tree or privately owned, and it would be up to whoever owns that tree to trim it.
Okay, so let's say it was along Margarita. So would that be SCE or be us that would maintain it?
As Katie mentioned, anything in the public right-of-way would be city-maintained along Margarita. There are certain pockets we call service levels that are HOA maintained, but if it's not in a service level location, then it would be city right-of-way and it would be city-maintained.
So city, okay.
Fernando?
No question.
Well, no questions? Okay. Can you just go back to, I think, the first slide? There was a really cool word that I want to know what it means. No, maybe it wasn't that slide. Yeah, no, it was the evapo.
Oh, ETO?
Yeah. Tell me about
What is
that.
it?
Yeah, that's a cool word.
So essentially, I have my notes here because I'm not an expert either. But ETO is the amount of water that would evaporate from the soil and be used by plants through transpiration. So I don't know if Blanca has an easier field response. Does that answer your question?
Transpiration meaning?
It's like the rate of evapotranspiration, correct?
Okay,
Oh.
evaporation is what the soil, it evaporates from the soil. Transpiration, it's what the plant is needing and exuding into the atmosphere. And the combination of those
From the soil and the
figures
plant?
is evapotranspiration. That's a number that landscape designers use to find out how much water is needed for the whole project. And so when they do the water use calculation, they have to get that evapotranspiration rate, which for Temecula is 55.9 at present, and it changes. So that calculates how much water they need in comparison to how much water is available from the water department. And they have to meet a certain, amount. They can't go over it.
Okay, interesting, thank
Yes,
you.
it
Did
is.
not know what that word meant. You have another question?
Organic biological sweat.
Biological sweat?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. It's getting more. Okay, there's some going on over here right now. Okay. Awesome, all right. So, do we have any public, I don't think I even opened the public hearing, did I?
We would do it now because you were in the question portion.
Okay, right.
Yes, we have received one request to speak from Lawrence Slusser.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and open the public hearing. Welcome, Larry.
My question, well, Madam Chair and members of the commission and city staff, my question was about root guards. It sounds like you got it covered. I just see that this problem is throughout the city where we've got these roots that are lifting up asphalt all over the place. So I just wanted to make sure that that was covered, and it is. Thank you.
Okay, well, thank you. Thanks for being here. Okay, so let's see. All right, then I'm going to go ahead and, I think it's because my gavel's over here. I'm so discombobulated. All right, public hearing is closed, and we'll go to discussion or a motion. Anything else we want to discuss about this? Then how about a motion?
I move that we accept, let's see, where are we here?
Accept the ordinance.
Evapotranspiration.
Adopt LR 25-0099.
Second.
All right, we have a motion by Mr. Hagel, a second by Mr. Watson. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, motion carries.
Confusing, huh?
All right, we will move to number 4. Long-range planning project number LR 24-0090, amending Titles 5, 8, 17 of the Temecula Municipal Code as detailed in the proposed ordinance. Mark is not here.
No,
No, Mark is not here. We're going to continue this item to a date certain, the next planning commission, October 15th.
Okay. And we need to make a motion on that. All right, who would like to make a motion to continue?
So moved.
All right,
I second.
and.
Sorry, we need to continue it to a date certain, so we would need to continue it to October 15th.
Okay. Can you make that right motion this time?
I move to continue the item to the next regularly scheduled meeting of the Temecula Planning Commission on October 15, 2025.
Much
I second.
better. All right. All right, all those in favor?
aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, we'll see that in our next meeting on October 15th. Okay, moving to item number 5, planning application number PA 25-0162, a conditional use permit application to upgrade the ABC license from a Type 41 ABC license on sale beer and wine to a Type 47 ABC license on sale general eating place at an existing restaurant located at 40335 Winchester Road, Units F and G. Janine?
Good evening, Madam Chair and Commissioners.
As stated, this is a conditional use permit application for a full-service restaurant to upgrade from a Type 41 to a Type 47 alcohol license. This restaurant is located at 40335 Winchester Road, Units F and G, located within Winchester Meadows Commercial Center. To the left, you see a floor plan, and the right-hand side is the frontage of the restaurant. It is comprised of 2,400 square feet of floor area. Here you see the indoor dining room and the new bar. The Type 47 will allow for spirit-based drinks on the menu to accompany the meals. It authorizes the sale of beer, wine, and distilled spirits for consumption on the licensed premises. El Ranchito Taco Shop is a full-service restaurant that specializes in authentic Mexican food. Operating hours are 8 a.m. through 10 p.m., 7 days a week. ABC will process the public convenience or necessity. Conditions have been added to the conditional use permit to include full menu available at all hours that alcohol is served. Termination of alcohol sales shall be no less than 1/2 hour prior to closing. This application is categorically exempt under Section 15301, Class 1 Existing Facilities. Staff recommends the Planning Commission approve PA 25-0162, subject to the conditions of approval. The conditions of approval have been provided to the applicant, and they have agreed to adhere to them. This concludes my report. I'm available for questions, as well as Veronica, the applicant.
Okay, questions of Janine? I'll start down here. Fernando, any questions?
Yeah, is the bar area like a new improvement to the restaurant, or is it already existing?
So midway into reviewing this application, the tenant can speak a little bit more about it, but they had made an agreement with leasing the unit next to it, which used to be a former dentist. So the expansion will include if you see here on the page, the slideshow, the dentist, that's the unit they've added. And there's no exterior changes. They're just removing a few partition walls, and that will extend the dining room, the bar, and then include 2 restrooms as well as storage.
Also, the entire interior is going to be changing because they're breaking up that wall and they're putting the new restrooms in.
Yes, there's a tenant improvement permit in process.
Okay, that's it. Thank you.
Bob?
Okay, this is kind of maybe a tough question, and this relates to CUPs for alcohol in general. If this is approved, does the CUP apply to just Unit G, Unit F and G, or to the whole entire building?
Just the 2 units.
Just the 2 units, okay. So if they leave at some point in time in the future and they are split, then what used to be the dentist's office, that would then qualify for a CUP for Type 47, even if it was a different business than, say, theirs, if they went back to just one suite.
So the scenario I think you're describing is right now, they're looking to expand into the neighboring suite.
Right.
The CUP would apply to units F and G. If the taco shop goes away and they bring in a wall again,
Yeah.
does the CUP apply to F and
And G.
G under different businesses?
Correct. Yeah.
It's a really good question.
Yeah.
That is a good question, and I think because it's one conditional use permit for both, I don't think there's a scenario where it can be split, because then that would be 2 separate CUPs, and that's not what's being approved. It's being approved for one CUP that covers 2 suites.
Could we add a
We
condition
could
to
certainly add a
clarify?
condition to clarify that it's one I mean, it is just one conditional use permit, that it operates over
Right.
units F and G together.
Because my concern would be the fact that there are two separate units today. The owner of the building could make it two separate units in the future, and anybody who would go into F and G separately would automatically, have a CUP for alcohol for 47, and that would be my concern.
That's a good question. Did you get your question
Yeah,
answered?
at least it's something I think they're going to have to kind of figure out there. So,
We're going to first ask questions of staff, and then we'll have you come up. Thank you, though. Kay, you already asked your question, Mark?
Let me just see if I have
Okay,
anything else.
sorry. You have anything else?
No, everything else is for the.
Good?
for the,
Okay, Mark?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Janine, thank you for the presentation. Always solid. Thank you. Had a question for you, though. When I looked at it on Google Earth, and I don't know the currency of it, but it looked like there was a Just for Kids or something like that daycare directly adjacent to this facility. Is that accurate? Do you know?
Yes, there is a private preschool north or east of that restaurant.
Okay. And yeah, it looked like what I saw was directly adjacent. The only thing two separate structures with a children's sort of a playground in between. Is that your understanding?
I know it's near the restaurant, yes.
Yeah, I think it directly abuts the building, but does the city give any consideration to that? I know the ABC can, but is not required to refuse the issuance of an on-sale license just because of proximity, but do we as a city consider that sort of proximity when considering this?
Yeah, great question. So I do have a slide here to give you a little bit more insight as to what we apply when we receive these applications. In this case, a bona fide restaurant. Temecula Municipal Code 17.09.060B10. I'll go ahead and read it. It says, businesses selling alcohol beverages that require a conditional use permit shall not be located within 600 feet of any religious or educational institution, daycare center, or public park. This distance shall be measured between the main entrance of the alcohol selling business and the closest public entrance to the religious or educational institution, daycare center, or public park. The part that would apply here is this requirement shall not apply when the alcohol selling business and the religious or education institution are both located within commercial or industrial zone. This separation requirement shall also not apply to restaurants, bona fide eating establishments, and if this preschool and the restaurant are both located in the commercial zone, community commercial to be exact, and it is a bona fide restaurant.
Very good. I'm satisfied. Thanks so much for that clarification.
Interesting. Okay, any other questions of staff? All right, I do have questions of the applicant, but none for staff. So if we have no more questions of staff, I will go ahead and open the public hearing and bring our applicant up first and have you give us a little scenario here of why you're wanting this type 47 and explain any questions that you've already heard up here.
Sure. Good afternoon to all
Come
of
in
you.
close
Thank
to
you
the
for-
mic, please.
Good afternoon to all of you, and thank you for taking me in consideration for this application.
And what is your name?
Veronica Landeros.
Okay.
And yes, I am applying. I feel like my customers would benefit from possibly consuming a margarita, with their meal. This is going to be a full, mostly restaurant. We're not intending to be like a bar. That's not our, intention. It's to just provide maybe a, drink for our food that we are now selling. We've been in Temecula for over 20 years in this place, and our landlords actually asked if we would like to expand. They asked us a few different times. With the economy being a little bit not so great, we were considering not to, but we just thought, let's just go in the raffle, see if we win the lotto, and possibly expand, give a little more dining area, and try to do the 47 versus the 41 license to, give a little bit better service, provide margaritas for our customers.
Okay. And you also own Landeros?
Correct. Yes.
So I'll have my colleagues ask their questions first, and then I'll ask mine. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'll start over here. Mr. Watson?
Do you have any concerns about your proximity to the preschool?
I did. Obviously, I have kids myself, and I'm very, worried that there's no accidents and, stuff like that from overconsumption. I do plan to have everybody fully trained. I am familiar with going from a 41 to a 47. I'm very strict on everybody taking their tests and complying with all ABC ordinance that they need, having the RBS certificate as well for all my employees to know, when to serve, when not to serve. And yeah, I hope, there's no issues with the school. We did send the letters that are required for them to know, a notice for them to the local school and Chaparral as well.
Do you have any violations on that license right now? Or any history of violations, ABC violations?
No, thank God we haven't, no.
I saw you at the October, I think it was 24th hearing, and you made a great, solid presentation. And
Thank you.
I believe you to be a reputable business. Thank you for coming in
Thank you.
tonight.
All right, Bob?
Okay. Besides the preschool that Marcus talked about I know it's greater than 600 feet, but Chaparral High School is just down the street.
Correct.
I was wondering if you have any idea of how many high school students come to have lunch there?
Well, to be honest, I was working there this morning, and I think we have a good number. I want to say maybe 25 students come during the day. I kind of wish they had the release for them to come and, take, the seniors for them to eat out, but I know they can't go off campus to eat out, most of them. So they come after school, and there's just a few of them, not too many, about 20 max, maybe.
How about teachers? I know they're a little harder to pick out, but.
Yes, so I noticed teachers from today that were from Nicholas Valley, which my kids attended. They're now, older kids from the teachers from there and other schools nearby, but I did notice shirts from Nicholas Valley.
Okay. Last question is, do you have a camera system?
We do.
You do, good. That's it for me.
Fernando?
I think I only had one question, and that question was, how long have you been in business? And you said 20 years?
I want to say 25, but I can't remember if it's 24-ish.
Okay.
Yeah, in
And
that unit.
Did you always have the business, the beer and wine with the business?
No, I believe the beer and wine is, I don't want to say if maybe 10, I can't remember the date, but it's been about 10 years that we've had that, but not since we started.
Okay, 10 years. So you moving that big wall and then expanding, that's a very big project for you, as in, like,
So-
completely remodeling it?
I feel like we're not completely remodeling. It's kind of, the existing shop will remain the same. There'll be a big beam installed to carry a bearing wall. So our contractor will add that, and as soon as that, we're just gonna add a little bit of an expansion of a bar area, 2 restrooms that are required, and a little more seating. So the unit is very small in the dentist. That's why I think they had trouble renting it out.
Oh, okay. My question is more of, I think right now it's more like I want to say it's kind of like a takeout. It looks like it's a takeout from like the
I
pictures
want
that
to
I
say
see.
most of it is takeout, but we do have a lot of, especially on Sundays, we got a lot of people from church and families going in on the weekends. But during the week, I want to say it's more takeout.
So then your goal is to have more of a sit-down restaurant?
Yes, it'll still be takeout, but we'll want to just have more sitting, area for the customers to be more comfortable. It's a little crowded right now. It's not big.
Okay.
It's very different from Landeros Mexican Restaurant. It's more fast food at the moment. So we would like to
Did you say
make-
you also own Landeros?
Correct.
Okay.
That's what he mentioned, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was
Name is
confused.
Veronica Landero. That would have been a clue right there.
No,
No, I didn't. No, I'm sorry. So,
Just saying.
okay, I'm sorry. So
No
you
worries.
do own Landeros then? 'Cause
Yes,
I'm confused
correct.
again. Okay, you're making fun of me.
No.
All right.
yes.
So
I'm
now
laughing with you.
Yeah. I understand now what kind of restaurant you have then in
Yeah.
Landeros. So,
Yes.
okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, I have a couple of questions. So, and what Fernando asked about the takeout, so does that include drinks for taking out?
We are not planning to sell any drinks to go. We don't think
Okay.
that would be a good
Yeah,
idea.
I would hope not.
I believe ABC still allows it after COVID, but we do not sell drinks to go at the moment.
Okay, at the moment.
We don't want to sell. That's not our plan at all to do. So we just want to keep it in-house. No drinks to go, alcohol drinks.
Okay. Okay. And then with your other restaurant, Landeros, have you had any problems there at all with your type 47?
So we haven't had any issues. Like I said, I believe like the restaurant is more family oriented. There's not really like people partying. That's not our style. That's not our vibe. So we don't get a lot of like people partying. We have not had any issues. And my staff is very knowledgeable. I think only once somebody came in that looked a little bit, they were maybe drinking.
Tipsy?
Yeah, I think they had a bride thing or something and they told them they couldn't serve them.
Good.
You know, she left right away and no problem at all.
And then are your employees at the taco stand, Rancho?
El
El
Ranchito.
Ranchito, right? Are they 21 and over, your employees?
Yes, I believe I was, she mentioned that to me in the phone call yesterday. I believe I have one of my girls is 19, but everybody that's working in the bar area will be over 21. And I believe to sell it, I believe it's 18, if I'm not mistaken, but to serve it, it has to be 21.
So to sell it, you mean if somebody orders it?
Yeah,
If
they can
order
ring it up, but they cannot touch it or serve it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And then I was looking at your statement of operations, and I think it was the last paragraph, says that upgrading from type 41 to type 47 will not significantly affect our current day-to-day business operations, as our primary function is and will remain serving food.
Correct.
So your main purpose is just being able to offer margaritas or that kind of thing with Mexican food.
Correct.
So the focus is not on the liquor itself, it's on the food.
Yes.
Okay. But even with kind of a takeout, I think like what Fernando was asking, you still feel like that would be necessary, even though they can't take out drinks.
No, but like I said, since we are expanding to the next door, I think we are going to have more seating area for sure. So I think people might consume like a cocktail or margarita. We don't plan on having like a full bar like Landeros, but we do want to offer margaritas and, you know, to just add to the Mexican culture, Mexican food.
Right.
But I don't think it's going to be a big increase in my sales. I just want to be able to offer it to my customers.
And you didn't have any response from Chaparral or the daycare center?
No, we didn't have any response at all or any negative response. Yeah, nothing that we got in the mail or any notification.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. You have a question?
I have none.
Okay. Any other questions? Yes, Bob?
So a type 47 on sale, does not allow you to sell drinks that are being taken off-site, is that correct?
We're going to look it up, but our understanding is it's on sale general eating.
That's what I thought.
But then during COVID, they did allow through
Just
the
during
emergency
COVID, right.
orders
Yeah, I think that would be
for the
important.
to-go.
for
We
us
could
to
add a
know.
condition,
Yeah,
nothing to go.
I would definitely want to add that condition, for
I
sure.
think the other thing too is, think I saw in the conditions that in order to sell someone spirited alcohol, they must be eating there. So in other words, you could not order a drink, drink it, and then take out food. Is that correct? That would become a bar.
Can you describe that scenario again? So
Okay,
you say,
so someone goes in, places an order for takeout, and then is sitting at a table and orders a drink, not eating any food there.
I think that I think the requirement is that it be a bona fide eating establishment, meaning a certain percentage of the sales have to be related to food, and it's got to be more food than alcohol. But I don't think that means that every single customer has to necessarily also purchase food. So I think someone could conceivably come in, just order a margarita, and eat it with whatever, complimentary chips are provided.
Okay, so I would just suggest that that scenario is a possibility, and you could have somebody that consumes 2, 3, 4 drinks on an empty stomach and create a problem for you, so.
Okay, we'll take that in consideration, and like you said, possibly offer chips while they're waiting if they do consume a drink before they take out their food to go.
Okay, thank you.
So we did some research on the type 47 over here. This side.
I
I know.
Oh, this way.
I'm always over there. So the type 47, as of January 1st, 2022, you can do to-go drinks, and that is going to be up until January 1st of 2027, when that's scheduled to be repealed.
Okay.
So,
I
but
thought I knew that, but it wasn't our intention to sell to go, but I believe it's legal since COVID, I believe, yeah.
Can you live with that condition if we put it on your CUP?
I'm sorry?
Can you live with that condition if we put it on your CUP?
Correct, yeah, definitely we could do
Prohibiting
that.
that?
Mhm.
Okay.
Can we do that if it's legal? Can we put that condition on?
Yeah, I think
Okay.
if the applicant is willing to add it, it's
Okay,
fine.
okay, just wanted to make sure. Okay, any other questions of the applicant? No? All right, thank you, Veronica.
Thank you.
Okay. Are there any public comments?
None.
Okay. I will go ahead and close the public hearing.
Honorable Chair, if we could just also check with the...
Honorable Chair, I love that. Okay.
If we could just double check with the applicant, I had also heard the request to have a condition that it only be valid if the restaurant operates in both suites, F and G. It sounds like that's amenable to the applicant, but I would just like something on the record.
Do you want to come on and back up? Do I need to open the public hearing again?
Yes, please.
Okay, open the public hearing.
Hi, so that question was for the unit of F and G. I did have to add both units to my CUP application and also to the ABC application. They require both units. Once one unit is closed, there is no permit at that unit at all because it carries with the corporation and the business name. So that unit would not have the alcohol license, to my understanding.
So that unit, meaning G?
G, or any unit, but I believe G, if we were to close it up in the future, it would not have the
Okay.
alcohol. Mhm.
Okay.
So just to clarify, so I think the condition that was being considered was that the conditional use permit is valid only if the restaurant operates in both suites F and G, so they would be tied together. I think what I'm hearing you say is that if G were to close, it would still stay with unit F.
According to the ABC, it could still stay with that unit F. I would just have to do an amendment or like an application just to notify that we close that unit, and they would come and inspect again and only have it in the unit that we would be in.
But it wouldn't be possible to just have it in unit G, so it's got to be tied to one, right?
I believe so. I don't think we would keep G, just G, because our main kitchen, everything is in F, and we wouldn't just sell alcohol. You know, that's not what, I don't know. We've never done that before.
Okay. Good? That's good? You good?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to close the public hearing, and let's have some discussion before a motion. Por favor.
Okay.
All right, discussion. Start over here.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I don't know that I can add much. I know that I believe this applicant to be cooperative, reliable. I mean, she's got a great track record. She's committed to the community. She certainly knows all the right things when it comes to RBS, responsible beverage service, and yeah, I have no concerns about granting her this license. Thank you.
Bob?
My biggest concern is the high school students. maybe teachers to some extent too, but just to make sure that they're, that you're carding everybody, because there's a lot of high school students that look pretty mature. And the other comments that I want to make is not related to them, but related more to general, something Mark brought up last meeting, related to just saturation of alcohol and what we might want to have discussions about in the future. So I'll save that.
I agree. I don't have any concerns. They've been in business for 25 years. They've had their alcohol license for 10. They also have another business that's very successful in the Old Town. And if this is going to be something like that, then I agree.
Yeah, so Bob, that was a question that I asked Janine, if there were any other type 47 in that center, and there are not. There's one with Outback, but Outback's been closed, but then obviously whoever moves in there can have that. So there would be two.
Right, yeah. What about Red Ginger?
What about what?
Red Ginger, the restaurant Red Ginger, they did not have?
They don't have a type 47.
Really? Huh.
Yeah, it's type 41, I believe.
Yeah, and I know Board and Brew does not. They only serve beer.
Right.
Correct.
Okay. But yeah, I agree with you with being careful with the saturation, and I like your cautioning with the high school students, that it is their nearest area to eat, right? So, oh my gosh, they got margaritas now, right? So, yeah, just being careful with that for sure. And then making sure that all of the people are trained and 21 and over. Okay. If we don't have any other discussion, how about if we want to entertain a motion, shall we have Maricela say what that motion is to help us out?
Sure.
Okay.
Sure. So I will first read the conditions of approval, or the draft ones, to make sure there's not changes. So the first would be adding a condition that the conditional use permit is valid only for a restaurant that operates in both units F and G. Should the restaurant cease to operate in unit F, the conditional use permit shall be invalid. And then the other condition is that no alcohol may be served with to-go orders.
I motion to approve.
So I guess for takeout orders is how.
Takeout orders. We knew what you meant. So we
I'll
have a motion.
second that motion.
All right, we have a motion.
So the motion would be to approve the conditional use permit with the two added conditions that I just read into the record.
Okay. We have a motion by Fernando and a second by Mark. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, motion carries 4-0. Okay, congratulations. We know you'll be responsible. We are expecting that. Okay. All right, we're going to move to item 6. This was continued from Planning Commission meeting of September 17th, 2025, planning application number PA25-0137, a modification application for the review and consideration by the Planning Commission of the as-built gray color scheme of 13 of Temecula Town Center's buildings. APNs 921-320-012, 018, 021, 38, 41, 48, 52, and then 919-430-012. Jaime, here we are.
Thank you, Madam Chair and Commissioners. So rather than a report or presentation tonight, I will be reading an email I received from Viewer Group Management, property owner representative. We received an email today at 4:41 p.m., and it appears that they have reconsidered the gray tones based on the email I received, which reads as follows. Hi, Jaime. First and foremost, thank you for your time, patience, and continued support throughout this process. We truly value the opportunity to work with the board and appreciate your thoughtful consideration. After further consideration, ownership has decided to resubmit an application with a revised color palette that better aligns with the city's guidelines and expectations. We are currently finalizing the updates and plan to submit the revised application by this Friday, October 3rd. Regretfully, ownership will not be able to attend tonight's meeting. We sincerely apologize for any inconvenience this may cause and truly appreciate your understanding. Sincerely, Erica Wong, Beer Group Management.
So with that, the recommendation would be to continue this item off calendar.
Okay. And then we don't do anything with the email that came to us as well from the public, since we're continuing it, correct?
We could just have the record reflect that there was an email that was submitted, that was distributed on the dais, and the email
Was opposed.
was opposed to
The gray color.
Dark gray color, yes.
Yeah.
And that was from Susanna Hines.
Okay. And do we know who Suzanne Hines is? Like, does she own anything in that town center, or? Just curious.
We do not.
Okay. Okay, so we need a motion, correct?
Yes, so it would be a motion
To
to continue this off calendar.
Okay, so we need a motion to continue item number 6 off calendar.
I motion to continue this to an off-calendar meeting.
It's just off calendar.
Off-calendar.
Yeah.
Okay.
Second?
Second. You guys got a party going on
We do.
here. All right, so we got a motion, Fernando, and a second by Mark to continue item number 6 off calendar. All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Any opposed? Motion carries 4-0. All right, thanks, Jaime, for that. All right. Commissioner reports. Fernando?
I'm thinking.
Okay, I'll come back to you. Mark?
I have no report this evening, Madam Chair.
Okay. And Bob?
I would just like to bring up the issue of alcohol saturation that I would love to have a conversation at some point put on our calendar related to it. One thing that came out tonight was that we do have a business that is no longer in business, but there's a CUP on that property, and there could be many, many other ones that we've provided CUPs over the years, and those CUPs can last for quite
Right.
some time. And, it's becoming apparent that for a lot of restaurants, they either need to or want to serve alcohol. And I think a bigger discussion rather than a discussion for each applicant is something that would make a lot of sense for us at this point.
So just one clarification, over here again. Just one clarification on the CUP expiration. Once a business stops operating for 36 months, the CUP does go away. So a
Oh,
new-
really?
So a new applicant would, so like.
So 3 years.
Yeah, so
How
Outback,
long has Outback been out?
we would have to do a Temecula talk, deep dive for the article that announced that they were closing
So
probably.
that,
Like a
Probably-
year or so, I know.
a year,
Yeah.
okay.
I have something else to add to that as well. Those ABC licenses don't just sit there. They have value, so they get sold. And so if a tenant hasn't moved in there and bought that license, it's going somewhere else. So these things can go all over the county. So that ABC license is not just sitting there waiting for years and years for someone to come along and occupy that space again. They would have to get another ABC license and go through the process of obtaining that, and there are only so many available.
So, on that note, maybe clarify for those who are listening that ABC license and the CUP.
So they are two separate things.
Right.
So ABC has their process, their requirements, and then, we're following whatever ABC's licenses are. But
our use permit is something completely separate and has its own, conditions, rules, regulations, timeframes for the approval, expiration, et cetera.
So for an ABC license, so for instance, in this situation here, she already has a type 41, which would be an ABC license that doesn't have to have a CUP, doesn't have to come to us, correct?
Correct.
Correct, okay. So that right there kind of tells you a little bit of difference, right, between ABC licenses. We don't see all of them. We don't vote on all of them.
Well, and
There's
that's in
certain
part
ones.
because of the way the municipal code was written and what the city council has approved and finds acceptable. Because if they wanted every last thing to come through for conditional use permit, they could have written it that way, but that's not how it
We're
is.
probably having too long a discussion, yeah. This is why we need something though, right? We need, and I think honestly, maybe, joining with Bob on this, that when we had a workshop with city council before, it was really important. And
Let me just say this before we go any further. Bob, I can follow up, and if we want a further in-depth discussion regarding alcohol and ABC licenses, we would definitely want to work with the city council regarding that policy.
Okay, sounds good. All right. Okay. That was a long commissioner report, Bob.
Yeah.
Did you have anything else? No? Fernando?
The next couple of weeks, there's gonna be meetings for the general plan. And there's, I don't know exactly all the details, but it is online. And I think tomorrow's gonna be one at the library.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, we
hope
announced
everyone
all
here
those.
can make it. Your opinion counts, and the more opinion, the better.
Yeah, we did announce those at the beginning, or Matt
sorry.
reported on that,
Sorry.
on all of those. So yeah, there's going to be several coming up this week, for sure. Okay, I don't think I have anything. Any subcommittee reports? Oh, actually, well, okay, subcommittee reports, anybody? All right. Matt, you're next.
Commissioner Solis was correct. Tomorrow night we'll be at the library from 6 to 8. And then next week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, in the different locations, they're available on the website. And just the other reminder is for that housing workshop from 10 to 1 in the conference center on Tuesday, the 7th.
And then the bus tour has been canceled, correct? Until March?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, it's being
Everybody
rescheduled.
knew that, right? Okay. All right, thanks, Matt. And Ron?
Yeah, most of Public Works projects are kind of wrapped up. French Valley Phase 2 is done. The only thing we have going on right now as a major CIP project is the hockey rink at Ronald Reagan Sports Park. So if you go there, the columns are up, the roof's starting to get assembled, and it should be open, or at least a ribbon cutting before the end of the year.
So that actually has a roof on it.
That has a roof on it. It will, now it will.
Yeah.
It never did.
Yeah,
But
right.
it will now have a roof.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they wanted that because of inclement weather kind of situation, or?
No, both the hockey rink and the skate park were our oldest amenities, and therefore, in redoing them, the budget allowed to put a roof, and so they thought it would be good. So it wasn't something that was requested, it was just something that we thought would be better to have a covered
Got
hockey
it.
rink.
And for heat,
Right,
yeah, it's,
right.
my son played roller hockey, and it's a hot sport.
Might be hotter with the roof, though. Anyway, okay. All right. Well, as we adjourn tonight, just a couple of things I wanted to adjourn in. First of all, in thinking about our colleague, Gary Watts, and having prayers for him with some health issues that he's having. If everyone would do that, would appreciate that. And he was hoping to be listening tonight, so I don't know. And then the last thing is, there was a tragic event on Sunday at a church shooting in Michigan. And I just would hope that we could have their families in our thoughts and prayers. is part of my church. So when it feels a little more personal, when you think about on Sunday, you're just going to church, and you feel like a church would be a safe place to be. So just thinking about them, I haven't been able to stop thinking about those families, and just would hope that we could all have them in our prayers and thoughts. Thank you, and we'll go ahead and adjourn until Wednesday, October 15th. Thank you.